Hi there, my name is Colleen from Crafts at Home, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a very simple stencil. I'm sure you'll be able to find most of the things you need at home. So just to show you that it's very easy to do with pictures you find in magazines, I found this design that's got very simple outlines. And I'm then going to take a piece of tracing paper and place that over the design. Just secure it down with a bit of masking tape, and I'm using a 2B pencil just to trace the outline. The 2B's got a nice soft lead, so I'm able to get a really good outline design. And the next thing is to understand what the stencil is going to do. So the areas where we're going to want to be putting paint, we will be using our positive areas. Those are the ones that we're going to cut out. And all the space around the outside edge, we are going to leave as part of the stencil sheet itself. The next step would be to choose what you are going to use as your template and what you're going to use to make your stencil. So this is a piece of acetate. This is readily available in most of the stationery stores, but I don't like working with this too much. I find it's quite slippery. The one that I prefer working with is a plastic that's used often for folders in presentations. It's got a rough side on one side and it's smooth on the other, and you would work on this rough side. This is what is called dimple plastic. So what the next step would be to take the design and actually secure your design with masking tape underneath. In other words, secure design onto the smooth side of this dimple plastic, and then to take your pencil and to start tracing the outlines with it. You'll see that this gives a very nice outline, easy to see, and when you come to place this on the surface that you're going to be stenciling on, you're going to be able to see what you're doing with the work underneath. So if you're wanting to line things up, it's easy to do that. Make sure also that you try and center it so that it's not skewed on one side, because it's very important to have these spaces around the edge so that as you're working with paint, it doesn't spill over onto the surfaces behind. The next thing now would be to simply just take this away from the back. Put your tracing aside, and then you can use a craft knife just to make a slit in the middle of your area that you're going to cut. And I like to work with these little embroidery scissors because they've got nice sharp points, and just simply cut them out. If the design was complicated or you really prefer working just with a craft knife, please go ahead and do that. So I would use my scissors now just to cut on the inside of the line so that my design doesn't get bigger and bigger. Snip away all these little bits until you've actually completed your whole design, and you'll find that that is a very easy way of working with that. Then I'm going to take my design that I've now finished cutting out, and I'm going to just do a test before I continue onto a project so that I can see that I'm happy with all the lines that I've cut. So my test now is just going to be on a piece of paper, and to make things very easy without being messy, I'm going to use little stamp pads just to color this to make sure I haven't got any rough edges. Not so important with a simple design like this, but if the design was more complex, you would find that this would be necessary. So I'm just going to dab some paint on. It's quite important when you are doing stenciling that you don't use a lot of paint, because otherwise you stand the chance of getting it underneath the stencil, and that will make a smudge mark, which can be very frustrating if you've got part of the way through your design that you're doing and then you actually have to start retouching. Okay, so having had masking tape now to secure it, if you're wanting to see how your design is progressing, you can lift up one corner and use that like a window, and you could quite happily carry on just by layering more colors of paint if you want to, but you can first of all just test and see that you're happy with now the lines, they've got nice neat edges, and you're ready to go. So the next thing to bear in mind is if you're going to be stenciling on card, then you would use things like acrylic paints or craft paints. If you're going to work on fabric, then use fabric paints. So this stencil can be used on any number of different kinds of surfaces, provided that the paint that you're using is correct for that particular surface. And any residue of paint that you pick up on the stencil, once you've finished working, can be washed off with water. The stencils themselves are generally heat sensitive, So make sure once you wash it that you dry the stencils and put them in a cool place so that they don't buckle. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you would like more ideas on stenciling, there will be another video on how to do a more complex design, and I'll be showing you how to do some shading on different kinds of stencils. So please tune into my channel, like this if you've enjoyed the video, subscribe to my channel. There's been plenty of things upcoming, and I look forward to meeting with you again soon. Bye for now.